Welcome back, coin lovers and treasure hunters. Today we're diving into one of the most misunderstood yet unbelievably valuable coins in modern U.S. history, the top 7 most valuable Thomas Jefferson Monticello nickel. At first glance, it looks like an everyday 5-cent piece, but in the right condition, this tiny coin can be worth thousands, even over $10,000. Yes, you heard that right. In this video, I'll reveal why some USA nickels are considered modern-day numismatic unicorns, what makes the legendary full steps examples so rare, and how a coin minted by the billions can suddenly become one of the most wanted collector's prizes on the market. From high-value era varieties to elite certified coins locked in fierce auction battles, we're uncovering every secret investors and top collectors look for. So if you've ever checked your pocket change, searched your old coin jars, or dreamed of finding a hidden fortune in everyday money, this episode is for you. Stick around, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's explore the shocking truth behind the USA Jefferson nickel, the tiny coin with massive value potential. Let's get started. First up, in the United States, Thomas Jefferson Monticello 5-cent coin dated 1964 holds a special place in American numismatics, but it is often misunderstood when described as a bicentennial item, as the true bicentennial coinage did not appear until 1975 to 1976. Instead, the 1964 Jefferson nickel owes its fame to the fact that it marks the final year of uninterrupted mass production before major changes in U.S. coinage practices and follows the hectic demand era caused by widespread coin hoarding in the early 1960s. While most examples are common, certain ultra-rare varieties, high-grade uncirculated specimens, and dramatic mint errors from this date have become highly sought after, commanding impressive premiums. Collectors pursue the 1964 Jefferson nickel not just for its historical closing chapter status within the classic Monticello series, but for the exceptional upside offered by pristine or unusual examples that stand far apart from the billions struck for circulation. The Jefferson nickel design debuted in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel and honoring Thomas Jefferson, 3rd President of the United States. The series ran with the iconic Monticello reverse until 2003, making the 1964 issue a well-established member of a mature design lineage. Minted in enormous quantities at both Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, D mint mark, during a time of nationwide coin shortages, the 1964 nickel was produced extensively to refill circulation. The U.S. Mint continued striking nickels bearing the 1964 date well into 1965 to curb hoarding, meaning the date represents both the height and the end of that crisis period. Though not commemorative in the traditional sense, the coin remains tied to a fascinating cultural moment when Americans saved coins en masse over fears of metal value changes and collector speculation, ironically setting the stage for later rarity in top-grade survivors. Design-wise, the obverse features Felix Schlag's left-facing portrait of Jefferson, known for its classical, understated elegance, while the reverse displays Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, rendered with sharp neoclassical symmetry. The coin is struck in the standard nickel alloy of 75% copper and 25% nickel, measures 21.2 millimeters in diameter, and weighs 5 grams. What elevates select 1964 examples into ultra-desirable territory is not the basic design, but the presence of special characteristics. Most notably full steps, FS, details on Monticello. Coins graded with 5 or 6 complete steps visible beneath the portico denote exceptionally sharp strikes and are exceedingly scarce for this high mintage year. Mint errors such as off-metal strikes, dramatic double dies, clipped planchets, or die cracks further contribute to visual uniqueness and substantial value escalation. Although billions were struck, the true rarity of the 1964 Jefferson nickel lies in survivability in flawless or near-perfect condition. Most examples suffered from bag marks, weak strikes, or circulation wear. Coins achieving top professional grades, MS-67, MS-68, or higher, are exceptionally rare. Even scarcer are examples certified with the full steps designation, particularly from the Denver Mint, which is notorious for softer strikes during this era. Dramatic mint errors are also rare by nature, often being caught before widespread release, making genuine examples prized treasures when authenticated. Proof versions were not issued in 1964, meaning collectors must rely on circulation strikes alone, increasing the competitive demand for superior condition specimens. The 1964 Jefferson nickel is usually worth face value, but the story changes completely in the high-end market. MS-65 examples trade in the $20 to $40 range, while certified MS-66 coins can reach $75 to $150. The dramatic leap occurs with elite specimens. MS-67 coins often command $1,000 to $3,000, and full steps examples of this grade may exceed $5,000, especially for Denver issues. At auction, MS-67 plus FS examples have surpassed $10,000, driven by registry-set competition and the microscopic population of qualifying coins. Rare mint errors can also bring prices from several $100s to well over $5,000, depending on severity and eye appeal. Demand for ultra-high-grade coins remains strong, sustained by collectors seeking top population pieces for competitive sets and investment-grade portfolios. Collectors looking to pursue valuable 1964 Jefferson nickels should focus on certified examples from PCGS or NGC, as authentication and grading are critical to protecting investment value. Priority should be given to coins bearing the full steps designation or receiving MS-67 or higher grades, as these represent the sharpest and rarest survivors. Raw coins should be carefully examined under magnification for bag marks across Jefferson's cheek and the steps of Monticello, the most common grading obstacles. Storage should involve non-PVC holders and climate-controlled environments to prevent surface degradation. Acquisition strategies include monitoring major auction houses, joining reputable numismatic networks, and dealing exclusively with established coin retailers who offer verifiable provenance and return guarantees. The 1964 Thomas Jefferson Monticello nickel stands as a coin of striking duality. Common in average condition, yet extraordinarily valuable at its highest quality and rarity levels. Its connection to the final chapter of a major production era, combined with the beauty of the classic design and the fierce competition for pristine full-step specimens, solidifies its reputation as a modern rarity icon. For collectors, the coin offers both historical fascination and real financial upside, bridging the worlds of passion collecting and tangible investment. Whether pursued as a crowning registry set edition or as a long-term store of numismatic value, the ultra-rare high-grade 1964 Jefferson nickel remains one of the most captivating and potentially rewarding treasures within contemporary American coin collecting. The United States 1964 Thomas Jefferson Monticello 5-cent nickel holds a uniquely powerful reputation among collectors, not because most examples are rare, but because its finest surviving pieces have become some of the most valuable. Modern Jefferson nickels ever certified. Representing the final dated issue of the classic Monticello reverse before major mint policy changes, the coin symbolizes the end of the intense early 1960s hoarding era. While billions were produced, only a microscopic fraction remains in top condition today. This contrast between extreme mintage and extreme high-grade scarcity fuels its status as a modern numismatic prize and drives constant collector competition, particularly for registry set builders seeking elite examples. The Jefferson nickel design, introduced in 1938, consistently honored Thomas Jefferson on the obverse with Monticello on the reverse, and the 1964 issue was produced at Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, D. Struck in the traditional alloy of 75% copper and 25% nickel, measuring 21.2 millimeters and weighing 5 grams. The coin's importance lies not in design novelty, but in strike quality. The most sought-after examples show sharply defined architectural lines on Monticello, particularly the famous full steps, FS, at the base of the building. Because the Denver Mint often delivered weaker strikes, 1964, D coins with full steps are extraordinarily rare, instantly elevating their desirability. Error varieties such as doubled dies, off-metal strikes, and clipped planchets add another layer of collectible intrigue and scarcity. Although the overall population of 1,964 nickels reaches into the billions, coins surviving in MS-67 or better condition, especially with full steps, are incredibly scarce. Most suffered contact damage. Next up to in the 1941 Jefferson nickel, 5 cents, stands as one of the most intriguing and potentially valuable regular issue coins of the early Monticello series, especially when exceptional grades or rare varieties are involved. While not a commemorative bicentennial issue itself, Collectors often associate early Jefferson nickels, like the 1941, with the foundational period of the series that celebrates Thomas Jefferson and his estate, Monticello, first introduced in 1938. Today, the 1941 issue commands strong interest because it represents a blend of historical importance, classic mid-20th century American artistry, and the possibility of extreme value when found in elite condition. Ordinary circulated examples are common, yet pristine specimens, particularly those showcasing dazzling luster, full strike details, and flawless surfaces, can reach eye-opening prices. For advanced numismatists, this dual personality as both an accessible date and a high-end treasure makes the 1941 Jefferson nickel a continuous subject of fascination and competition in the collector marketplace. Minted during a nation on the brink of global conflict, the 1941 Jefferson nickel emerged from 3 U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D; and San Francisco, S, reflecting America's expanding wartime production capabilities. The nickel was part of the long-running Monticello series designed by sculptor Felix Schlag, which replaced the Buffalo nickel in 1938 and introduced a more refined, classical portrait of Thomas Jefferson. Issued only months before the United States' entry into World War II, the 1941 nickel represents the final calm before the dramatic changes that soon followed in coinage composition, notably the wartime silver alloy nickels of 1942 to 1945. Within the broader Jefferson nickel timeline, the 1941 issue occupies a notable space as a pre-war, standard composition coin produced in substantial numbers, yet now becoming scarcer in premier preservation states. This historical placement, combined with its origin during a pivotal year in American history, adds depth and narrative appeal that resonates strongly with collectors. The 1941 Jefferson nickel maintains the classic design established a few years earlier. A dignified left-facing bust of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse with crisp legends and date placement, and on the reverse, a symmetrical rendering of Monticello, Jefferson's famed Virginia home. The coin is struck in the traditional nickel alloy of 75% copper and 25% nickel, measuring 21.2 millimeters in diameter and weighing 5.0 grams. In top-tier mint state examples, the coin's surfaces can display glowing satin or frosty luster, while the sharpness of the Monticello steps, the horizontal stair lines leading to the building's entrance, becomes critical to value. Coins classified as full steps, FS, showing at least 5 or 6 uninterrupted steps, are dramatically more desirable because weak strikes often obscured these details. This technical rarity transforms certain 1941 nickels into stunning display pieces that represent the pinnacle of the series from a visual and craftsmanship standpoint. Although overall mintage figures for 1941 were healthy, true rarity emerges at the highest grades, especially when the elusive full steps designation is present. Bag marks, contact abrasions, and strike softness severely limit the number of coins surviving in pristine condition. While circulated pieces remain extremely common, uncirculated examples graded MS-66 or MS-67 by professional grading services become sharply scarcer, and those meeting full steps criteria are rarer still. Subtle die varieties, repunched mint marks, and other minor errors also add spice to the year and can boost value when paired with strong eye appeal. Condition plays the defining role. A lightly worn coin may be worth only a few dollars, while the same date preserved in flawless mint state perfection becomes a major numismatic prize, illustrating just how dramatically preservation can reshape market demand. The 1941 Jefferson nickel demonstrates one of the widest price spreads of any date in the series. Circulated examples generally trade between $1 and $5, while standard uncirculated pieces often range from $15 to $80, depending on eye appeal and strike quality. The real excitement begins at the top end of the grading scale. Coins certified MS-66 typically sell from $150 to $400, and MS-67 examples can command $1,500 to $4,000 or more. When paired with the full steps designation, values escalate sharply. Elite 1941 nickels graded MS-67 FS have brought over $10,000 at major auctions, with record prices exceeding $15,000 for exceptional specimens possessing unrivaled surface quality and strike definition. The steady upward trend reflects both diminishing supply at these levels and relentless competitive pressure from registry set collectors seeking the best possible examples. Collectors targeting the 1941 Jefferson nickel should prioritize certified coins from reputable grading services such as PeaceGS or NGC, as authenticity, grade accuracy, and designations like full steps dramatically influence value. Close inspection of the Monticello steps is essential. Any break or weakness disqualifies the coin from FS status and significantly limits its premium. Storage should involve inert holders or certified slabs kept in stable, low-humidity environments to protect surfaces from oxidation or tone spotting. Aspiring buyers are encouraged to compare auction records, examine population data, and purchase from well-established dealers or major numismatic auction houses to ensure fair pricing. For collectors on a budget, acquiring a sharply struck MS-65 example can offer an excellent balance of beauty and affordability, while advanced investors may target top population registry coins as long-term holdings with strong appreciation potential. The 1941 Jefferson nickel, 5 cents, is one of the most intriguing and sought-after early Monticello issues, prized not for circulating rarity, but for the extraordinary premiums it commands in top condition. Though millions were struck at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, true collector value is concentrated in elite mint state specimens, particularly those with razor-sharp strikes and undisturbed surfaces. For numismatists, this coin represents the perfect combination of history, artistry, and investment opportunity. An accessible date for beginners, yet a formidable prize for advanced collectors competing for registry set perfection. Its appeal continues to grow as the supply of high-grade survivors remains extremely limited while collector demand steadily rises. Minted just months before the United States entered World War II, the 1941 nickel belongs to the formative era of the Jefferson series introduced in 1938 to honor Thomas Jefferson and showcase his iconic Virginia estate, Monticello. Designed by sculptor Felix Schlag, the coin features Jefferson's dignified portrait on the obverse and a symmetrical architectural view of Monticello on the reverse. Struck in the standard alloy of 75% copper and 25% nickel, and measuring 21.2 millimeters with a weight of 5 grams, it embodies classic mid-20th century U.S. coinage craftsmanship. The most coveted examples exhibit a crisp strike with brilliant luster, especially on the reverse where the stair lines of Monticello are distinctly visible, details that elevate the coin from ordinary to exceptional. While circulated examples remain inexpensive, often selling for $1 to $5, rarity emerges sharply at the upper end of the grading scale. Most surviving mint state coins display contact marks or weak step details, making fully pristine examples far scarcer than raw mintage figures suggest. Certified pieces graded MS-66 typically range from $150 to $400, while MS-67 examples often bring $1,500 to $4,000 plus. The Holy Grail is the full steps, FS designation, awarded only when at least 5 to 6 uninterrupted step lines are visible on Monticello. In MS-67 FS condition, the 1941 nickel becomes a true numismatic powerhouse, with major auction results exceeding $10,000 to $15,000 for top population specimens. These prices reflect intense registry competition and the diminishing availability of flawless example. The 1941 Jefferson nickel offers both aesthetic beauty and long-term growth potential. Careful selection is essential. Always favor certified coins from reputable grading services, examine the Monticello steps for sharpness, and ensure surfaces remain free of marks or discoloration. Stored properly in inert holders and climate-controlled environments, high-grade examples can retain and even appreciate in value over time. Ultimately, the 1941 issue stands as a shining reminder that even widely minted coins can become exceptional treasures when preserved at the highest standards, making this Jefferson nickel a cornerstone piece for both passionate collectors and serious numismatic investors seeking historical charm paired with remarkable financial. Next up in the 1971 Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel, 5-cent coin, occupies a unique place in modern U.S. numismatics, especially among collectors who specialize in high-grade business strikes, proofs, and rare minting anomalies. While 1971 is not normally considered a key date, its true importance lies in the exceptionally low survival rate of perfectly preserved, ultra-high-grade examples, and in certain error and proof quality coins that have achieved premium status at auction. For collectors, the thrill of this coin comes not from common circulation pieces worth only face value, but from the hunt for register-quality MS67 Plus and MS68 specimens, cameo proofs, and dramatic mint errors, which can command surprising prices. As demand has grown for flawless modern coins, the best 1971 Jefferson nickels have evolved into sought-after trophies, valued not merely as 5-cent pieces, but as elite collectibles representing technical perfection. The 1971 Jefferson nickel was minted during a period of economic adjustment and rising industrial production in the United States, as the nation was transitioning toward a new era following the turbulent late 1960s. Struck primarily at the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, and the Denver Mint D, with proof coins produced at the San Francisco Mint S, it continued the Jefferson series first introduced in 1938 to honor Thomas Jefferson, principal author of the Declaration of Independence and the third U.S. president. By 1971, the Monticello reverse, depicting Jefferson's iconic Virginia estate, had become one of the longest-running American coin designs. While millions were minted for circulation, relatively few were preserved perfectly at the time, as coins were widely used and rarely set aside with conditions suitable for modern grading standards. This historical reality unintentionally created the conditions that now drive the coin's scarcity at the highest quality levels. The coin features Felix Schlag's portrait of Jefferson on the obverse, with the word Liberty, the motto In God We Trust, and the date 1971 along the rim. The reverse presents a finely detailed image of Monticello, framed by the inscription E Pluribus Unum and Monticello, with 5 cents marking its denomination. Composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, the coin weighs 5 grams, measures 21.2 millimeters in diameter, and has a plain edge. What distinguishes high-value 1971 nickels is not a design difference, but astronomical strike quality. Razor-sharp steps on Monticello, referred to as full steps. Deep reflective proof surfaces, or exceptional cameo contrast. Jefferson nickels with 5 or 6 full steps, FS, are particularly prized because most circulation examples show wear or weak strikes that dull these details. The 1971 Jefferson nickel is common in circulated form, yet extremely rare in elite condition. Coins graded MS67, MS67 Plus, and MS68 by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC are scarce due to handling flaws, bag marks, and strike weakness inherent in mass production. The true rarities include coins with perfectly defined steps, flawless surfaces, and exceptional luster, qualities nearly impossible to preserve over decades. Additionally, a small number of noteworthy mint errors, including off-center strikes, clipped planchets, doubled dies, or wrong planchet strikings, command intense collector attention. Proof versions from San Francisco with deep cameo, DCM, contrast are likewise scarce in pristine condition, as hairline scratches easily diminish their grade. As images of registry set competitions dominate modern collecting, demand for these rare top-grade survivors continues to surge. The 1971 Jefferson nickel demonstrates an extraordinary value range. Circulated specimens remain worth face value to 25 cents, while ordinary mint state examples graded MS63, MS65 typically sell between $2 and $15. However, values escalate quickly at the upper end. MS66 examples often trade from $40 to $150, while authenticated full-step specimens can reach $500 to $2,000 depending on grade and surface quality. The true headliners are ultra-rarity coins graded MS67 Plus or MS68, which have recorded auction prices ranging from $3,000 to well over $10,000, particularly for Philadelphia strikes with full steps. Deep cameo proofs graded PR70 DCM have also commanded $800 to $2,500 plus, while dramatic error coins may fetch several $1,000s depending on visual appeal and severity. The key value drivers remain grade certification, strike sharpness, step definition, cameo contrast, and the increasingly competitive registry set market. For collectors seeking maximum value from the 1971 Jefferson nickel, condition selection is paramount. Focus on coins already certified by reputable grading services, as authentication and numerical grading are essential to protecting both purchase value and resale potential. Carefully inspect for full steps designations, shimmering original luster, and absence of bag marks or contact abrasions. Proof collectors should prioritize strong cameo contrast and immaculate mirrors. Storage is equally critical. Coins should be sealed in archival holders or professional slabs and kept in temperature-controlled environments to prevent toning and corrosion. Acquisition strategies include attending major coin auctions, buying from established numismatic dealers, and participating in collector forums where pedigree examples are often traded privately. Beginners are advised to start with MS66 or lower FS candidates before advancing toward the high four-figure elite specimens. The 1971 Monticello Jefferson nickel stands as a compelling example of how a modern circulating coin can transform into a genuine numismatic treasure when encountered in extraordinary condition. Its historical roots, enduring design, technical beauty, and the astonishing prices achieved by flawless survivors elevate it far beyond its humble 5-cent face value. For collectors, it represents the intersection of art, history, and investment opportunity, an attainable entry point for beginners and a coveted challenge for advanced registry competitors. As demand for certified modern rarities continues to grow, the finest examples of this coin are positioned for ongoing appreciation, securing the 1971 Jefferson nickel's reputation as one of the most unexpectedly valuable and rewarding pieces in contemporary American coin collecting. The 1971 Monticello Jefferson nickel, 5-cent coin, holds a special place in modern U.S. numismatics because its true value lies not in everyday circulation specimens, but in the rare survivors preserved in exceptional condition. While millions were minted for daily use, only a minuscule number avoided handling damage, weak strikes, and bag marks, making top-grade examples highly sought after today. Collectors prize this issue particularly for registry set competition, where perfection commands extraordinary premiums. As a result, what appears at first glance to be a common nickel can, under the right circumstances, become a multi-thousand-dollar rarity that exemplifies the modern collector market's focus on quality over age alone. Minted at Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, D, for circulation, with proof issues struck at San Francisco, S. The 1971 nickel continued the long-standing Jefferson series, first introduced in 1938 to honor the third U.S. President, Thomas Jefferson. The obverse features Felix Schlag's dignified portrait of Jefferson, while the reverse depicts his Virginia estate, Monticello, framed by classical lettering and symbolic mottos including E pluribus unum. Composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, with a diameter of 21.2 millimeters and a weight of 5 grams. The coin's artistry is appreciated most in sharply struck, mirror-like proof or lustrous mint state examples. The most coveted pieces show fully detailed steps on Monticello, full steps, a visual sign of superior striking quality rarely seen on standard circulation strikes. Although the overall mintage of the 1971 Jefferson nickel numbered in the hundreds of millions, true rarity emerges at the highest grade levels. Coins graded MS67, MS67+, or MS68, especially those designated with 5 or 6 full steps, are exceedingly scarce and form the cornerstone of the coin's market value. Typical circulated pieces remain worth only face value, while standard mint state coins bring modest premiums of just a few dollars. However, prices rise dramatically at the top. MS66 full steps nickels may sell from $300 to $1,500, while elite MS67 Plus and MS68 specimens have achieved $3,000 to $10,000 plus in major auctions. Proof pieces graded PR69, PR70 Deep Cameo also command strong prices, usually $500 to $2,500 or more, thanks to their dramatic contrast and limited survival in flawless condition. Eye-catching mint errors, off-center strikes, wrong planchet examples, and doubled dies can bring additional $1,000 results when authentic. Next up in the United States, 1990 Monticello Jefferson 5-cent nickel. While not a bicentennial issue in the traditional sense, that honor belongs to the special 1976 reverses, has emerged as a fascinating modern collectible within the long-running Jefferson nickel series due to the surprising premiums commanded by a few ultra-high-grade and error examples. In everyday circulation, this coin is extremely common, but at the highest levels of preservation, or when paired with striking mint errors, it becomes a surprisingly valuable numismatic specialty. Collectors are drawn to the 1990 nickel because it represents the contrast that defines modern coin collecting. Massive overall production paired with microscopic survival rates in true gem condition. This tension fuels strong demand among advanced registry set builders seeking flawless examples, error specialists hunting dramatic die anomalies, and modern coin investors who recognize the growing scarcity of perfectly preserved business strikes from the late 20th century. What appears to be a simple 5-cent coin can, in elite forms, command 4-figure, and in rare cases even 5-figure, price realizations, demonstrating that worth in numismatics depends far more on condition and rarity than on face value or age alone. The Jefferson nickel series, first introduced in 1938, was designed to honor the nation's third president and to depict his Virginia estate, Monticello, on the reverse, a design that remained essentially unchanged through 2003. By 1990, nickel production was purely utilitarian, intended solely to meet commercial demand for everyday coinage rather than to commemorate a historical anniversary or event. That year saw minting at both Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, D, producing hundreds of millions of coins for circulation. Proof versions were also struck at San Francisco, S, and sold as part of collector sets. No special fanfare accompanied the 1990 issue at the time of release, which is precisely what makes its present rarity at the top of the grading scale so remarkable. During this late 20th century period, mass coin handling, bulk bag storage, and large-scale transportation created nearly unavoidable surface abrasions known as bag marks, preventing the vast majority of coins from surviving in near-perfect condition. As a result, pristine 1990 nickels today represent historical artifacts of mint handling practices as much as they do a continuation of the Jefferson portrait lineage. The 1990 Jefferson nickel remains faithful to Felix Schlag's enduring layout. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson bearing the inscriptions "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date 1990. The reverse displays Monticello with the inscriptions "E Pluribus Unum," Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. Each coin is composed of a copper-nickel alloy, 75% copper, 25% nickel, measures 21.2 millimeters in diameter, and weighs 5 grams. What elevates certain examples beyond the mundane lies in their finish quality and striking characteristics. Ultra-high-grade business strikes exhibiting razor-sharp details, blazing luster across both fields, and nearly flawless surfaces are extraordinarily difficult to locate. Some proof-like circulation strikes from 1990 also attract strong premiums because of their reflective surfaces, while proof coins graded deep cameo showcase mesmerizing contrast between frosted devices and mirror-like backgrounds. In the world of modern Jefferson nickels, visual perfection, rather than artistic deviation, is what distinguishes a 5-figure rarity from a 5-cent pocket piece. True rarity for the 1990 nickel is a matter of conditional scarcity rather than low mintage. Despite enormous production figures, coins grading MS67 to MS68+, mint state, are exceptionally rare. At these elite levels, minor abrasions invisible to casual inspection become grading disqualifiers, and very few examples pass certification with flawless scores. Error varieties contribute another layer of scarcity. Notable collectible errors include off-center strikes, broad strikes, double die obverse, clipped planchets, and wrong planchet strikes. The latter involving nickels accidentally struck on foreign or experimental blanks, which can be extraordinarily valuable. The condition spectrum dramatically influences worth. Circulated pieces remain worth face value. MS65-66 examples sell for modest premiums. But when grading surpasses MS67, availability collapses while demand intensifies. Proof coins are more numerous, yet perfect PR70 deep cameo examples also remain highly prized due to the stringent standards required to achieve the top grade. In today's numismatic marketplace, values for 1990 Jefferson nickels vary dramatically depending on preservation and rarity. Common circulated examples remain worth 5 cents. Attractive uncirculated coins graded MS65, MS66 typically trade between $10 and $50. The real escalation begins in ultra-gem territory. MS67 business strikes regularly realize $300 to $800, while the exceedingly rare MS-68 or MS-68 Plus specimens have reached auction prices exceeding $2,000 to $4,000 when accompanied by exceptional eye appeal. Proof nickel's graded PR69 Deep Cameo sell in the range of $20 to $40, while PR70 Deep Cameo Perfect Proofs command $300 to $800 depending on registry competitiveness at the time of sale. Error coins dwarf even these premiums. Dramatic off-strikes and wrong planchet errors from 1990 have sold for $1,500 to $8,000, with the most exotic or visually impressive specimens occasionally surpassing $10,000 in major auctions. These values are driven not only by grade rarity, but also by collector competition for population census toppers and unique error typologies. The 1990 Jefferson nickel should focus on certification above all else. Third-party grading by services such as PeaceGS or NGC ensures both authenticity and accurate market placement, which is critical at high price points. When evaluating ungraded examples, look for strong luster, clean fields free of contact marks, sharply defined steps on Monticello, and crisp portrait detail. Coins with full steps, reverse detail are especially valuable. Proper storage is essential. Coins should be kept in inert holders away from moisture, heat, and skin contact to preserve surface quality. Acquiring top specimens is best achieved through established auction houses, reputable dealers specializing in modern registry coins, and well-vetted online marketplaces. For error collectors, education is paramount. Learning diagnostic traits for genuine mint anomalies will help avoid post-mint damage misidentified as valuable error. The 1990 Monticello Jefferson nickel exemplifies how modern coinage can transcend humble origins and become a legitimate high-value collectible. While billions of nickels pass through commerce that year, only a microscopic fraction retains the immaculate condition or spectacular mint errors that define ultra-rare status today. Its historical placement within the long Jefferson series, classic and immediately recognizable design, and extreme conditional scarcity converge to make it a compelling pursuit for collectors across all experience levels. For beginners, it offers an accessible entry point through affordable uncirculated or proof examples. For advanced numismatists, the hunt for registry-grade gems or dramatic mint errors presents a thrilling challenge with strong financial upside. In every tier of the market, the 1990 Jefferson nickel stands as proof that value is not dictated merely by age, but by rarity, quality, and the passion of collectors willing to compete for perfection. The 1990 Monticello Thomas Jefferson 5-cent nickel may appear to be an ordinary modern coin, yet at the highest grades and in rare error varieties, it has become a surprisingly valuable collectible within U.S. numismatics. While millions were minted for everyday circulation, only a minute number survived in nearly flawless condition, creating intense demand among registry collectors who seek top population examples. This dramatic contrast between mass production and extreme conditional rarity defines the coin's appeal and drives its worth far beyond face value. For collectors focused on modern coins, the 1990 Jefferson nickel represents how perfection and scarcity, not age alone, can transform a common piece into a prized investment. Struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints for commerce and at San Francisco for proof sets, the 1990 nickel continued the long running. Next up to in the 1948, D. Jefferson nickel, 5 cents, from the Denver Mint stands as one of the most coveted post-war issues in the long-running Monticello series, especially when found in exceptional preservation or linked to rare strike characteristics. While millions were produced for everyday circulation, truly elite, high-grade specimens have become fiercely sought after among advanced collectors, registry-set competitors, and investors focused on conditional rarities. Its appeal lies in the paradox that defines many great U.S. coins, a common date issue that transforms into a five-figure treasure when preserved at the highest levels. The combination of historical importance, classic Jefferson Monticello artwork, and extreme scarcity in near-perfect condition has propelled the 1948 D into a surprisingly powerful position within the modern nickel market, where competition for top-graded pieces remains intense and consistent. Minted during the early stages of America's post-World War II economic resurgence, the 1948 D nickel reflects the renewed stability and expanding commerce of the late 1940s. Produced at the Denver Mint as part of the regular Jefferson nickel series introduced in 1938, this issue continued the tribute to Thomas Jefferson and his iconic home, Monticello, celebrating democratic ideals and American leadership. The year 1948 marked a return to normal peacetime coinage just a few years after the wartime silver alloy nickels of 1942 to 45, returning to the standard copper-nickel composition. Although no specific single event was commemorated, the coin symbolizes the post-war rebuilding era, where U.S. coinage resumed large-scale production to meet commercial demand. As a result, most surviving examples exhibit heavy wear, making fully intact survivors remarkably scarce from a historical preservation perspective. The obverse displays Felix Schlag's refined left-facing portrait of Jefferson, with crisp lettering spelling "In God We Trust" to the left and "Liberty, 1948" to the right, while the modest D mint mark appears subtly beside Monticello on the reverse. The reverse showcases the stately dome of Monticello flanked by E pluribus unum and the denomination 5 cents, above Monticello and United States of America. Measuring 21.2 millimeters in diameter and weighing 5 grams, the coin is struck in the traditional 75% copper, 25% nickel alloy. What elevates exceptional 1948 D specimens is the quality of strike and surface. Nickels from this period commonly display weak steps at the base of Monticello, making coins with the famous full steps designation exceedingly rare and visually striking. Clean fields, sharp Jefferson cheek detail, and uninterrupted architectural steps combine to create an aesthetic perfection that sets record-level examples apart from ordinary survivors. Although the official mintage exceeded 44 million pieces, true scarcity lies in condition rarity rather than quantity. Most coins endured decades of circulation, contact damage, corrosion, and dull surfaces. Even mint-state examples often lack sharp definition, particularly on Monticello's steps. Coins graded MS66 are rare, MS67 extremely scarce, and MS67 with full steps, FS, are virtually unicorns within the nickel community. The microscopic survival rate, often estimated at far below 0.001% of original production, creates an environment where a single elite specimen may dominate auctions or registry rankings for years. Error examples such as off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or die breaks further amplify rarity, but condition remains the most powerful driver of desirability. Each incremental jump in grade exponentially increases scarcity, transforming the 1948 D from a modest collector coin into a true investment-grade numismatic prize. The 1948 D nickel holds minimal value, typically $0.25 to $2, reflecting its common survival. Uncirculated examples graded MS63, MS65 usually trade between $20 and $150, depending on eye appeal. However, the price curve becomes dramatic at elite levels. MS66 coins can command $350 to $900, while confirmed MS67 specimens routinely exceed $4,000 to $8,000 in public auctions. The pinnacle lies with full steps examples, where documented sales for top population pieces have exceeded $15,000 and approached $25,000, fueled by advanced collectors competing to complete or upgrade top registry sets. Auction momentum remains strong, as modern registry competition has driven sustained appreciation over the past decade, especially for coins with certified exceptional surface quality and full architectural detail. Collectors seeking the 1948 D should prioritize third-party certification by respected grading services such as PCGS or NGC, particularly for high-grade or full steps candidates where authenticity and attribution are crucial to value. Under magnification, confirm uninterrupted lines across Monticello's steps to validate FS eligibility, and examine Jefferson's cheek and jaw for wear or contact marks that limit grading potential. Coins should be stored in low humidity, inert holders or certified slabs to prevent tone reaction or corrosion. Strategic acquisition involves monitoring major auctions, specialty nickel dealers, and registry-focused sales where top pieces appear most often. Patient collectors may seek beautifully preserved MS65, MS66 examples as affordable entry points while keeping watch for opportunities to upgrade to elite grades when market conditions align. The 1948 D. Jefferson nickel elegantly demonstrates how rarity is defined not by mintage alone, but by survival in exceptional condition. Anchored by its post-war historical context, timeless Monticello design, and extreme scarcity at the highest grades, especially with full steps, This coin occupies a prestigious place within modern numismatics. Its strong market performance and escalating registry competition continue to fuel both collector passion and investor interest. For enthusiasts, it represents a bridge between accessible entry collecting and the pinnacle of condition rarity pursuits. For investors, it stands as a proven niche asset with enduring demand and limited supply. Whether admired for its artistry, history, or market strength, the 1948 D remains one of the most compelling and valuable Jefferson nickels of the post-war era. The 1948 D Jefferson nickel from the Denver Mint is one of the most prized coins among post-war issues in the Monticello series. While millions were minted, coins in exceptional condition are exceedingly rare, making this date highly coveted by collectors and investors alike. Released during the post-World War II era, this nickel symbolizes the return to peacetime coinage and renewed economic stability. As part of the broader Jefferson nickel series introduced in 1938, it honors Thomas Jefferson and his iconic home, Monticello, reflecting both historical significance and classic American artistry. The coin features Felix Schlag's finely detailed portrait of Jefferson on the obverse, with "I in God we trust, liberty," and the date clearly displayed. The reverse highlights Monticello, with the D mint mark subtly placed near the building's base. Measuring 21.2 millimeters and weighing 5 grams in standard copper-nickel alloy, the design is iconic yet deceptively challenging to preserve in pristine form. High-grade coins, particularly those with the coveted full steps FS designation, display crisp architectural detail and flawless surfaces, making them visually and technically exceptional. The 1948 D had a mintage of over 44 million. True rarity comes from surviving high-grade examples. Circulated coins are common and hold modest value, while uncirculated MS-65, MS-66 coins can fetch several hundred to over $1,000. Top-tier MS-67 full-step specimens are extremely rare and have sold for $15,000 to $25,000, driven by registry collectors and auction competition. Even minor improvements in grade dramatically increase scarcity and market value, highlighting the importance of condition in determining worth. Collectors seeking this coin should focus on certified, high-grade examples, ideally with full steps, verified by trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC. Proper storage and careful handling preserve surface quality, while participation in auctions or numismatic communities increases chances of acquiring rare specimens. The 1948 D. Jefferson nickel remains a remarkable blend of history, artistry, and investment potential, appealing to both new collectors seeking entry-level quality and advanced enthusiasts pursuing condition rarity. Its enduring popularity ensures it will remain a cornerstone of the Jefferson series for generations to come.